Good morning and welcome back. At just 11 years old, AJ Myers has already had 2 life-saving liver transplants. 60 Minutes caught up with AJ and his mum Jane when he was waiting for his second transplant. Have a look at this.
Tell me what it's like to wake up every day just waiting.
I try not to think about it too much. Sorry. You can't think about it. It would swallow me up and I wouldn't be able to function.
With us today in the studio, we have a very different little boy and a very different mum. After a very long wait, AJ received his new liver from a marathon runner, and in an amazing twist, he's now an athletic champion. Jane, AJ, welcome.
His brother
You've got your
Matthew's
little
on the
brother
end
as well, Matthew.
Matt, how are you?
Tell us, you've just completed, AJ, the transplant games. This is your medal hall.
Look at this hall here. Can
You
we get
did
a shot
pretty
of that?
good. What was it like?
Exciting.
What sort of sports were you competing in?
Swimming, running, ball throw, tennis.
Wow, that's a lot of sports.
Everything. He had to go at everything. We put him down for the lot, didn't we?
Jane, this is quite the contrast to what we just saw before when we
Yeah.
played that 60 Minutes story. We saw a woman who's very distressed. You know, obviously, you know, I mean, a little man's life was on the line. You're on hold, basically, for that whole time.
Every
And now
time.
here he is. We counted 11, is that right, AJ? 11? 11 medals here at the transplant game. So how are you feeling now?
Overwhelmed. It's sensational to see the before and after of what a life-saving transplant can do. I mean, being so sick and not being able to even run, and then the turnaround to see what can be accomplished afterwards is just a gift. It's a gift.
AJ, looking at those pictures before, when we saw you on telly before, can you remember what it was like, what you felt like before the transplant? Were you sick? Did you feel horrible? Tired?
No.
No? No. So what was life like for then, AJ, before the transplant?
In and out of hospital quite a bit. The energy level just wasn't there. Regular fortnightly or weekly visits to the hospitals for blood tests. Now we just go for regular checkups because everything's just, quality of life is so much better. And yeah, we're just not there backing up as many frequent flyer points as we were before. Life is just, it's a whole new end of there's just life beyond.
But Jane, when you get that call after the 21-month wait, and we saw the tension and the stress that you were put under, your whole family would have been put under, and then you get that call to say, we've got one, we've got a donor. How does that feel?
Shock. Shock.
Do you ever believe that call was going to come?
Yes, you always pray and hope, but then after 21 months and knowing the history of organ donation and the statistics, it is in the back of your mind that not everyone does get that gift because of our low organ donation rate, so that is always a worry. But we never gave up hope, and we knew it would come eventually, but that every time that phone rang, my heart just stopped.
And that's just the start of the journey, isn't it? Because after you get the phone call, you know, you then have to hope and pray that the body takes it. And
yeah, we had about 5 or 6 other surgeries to follow after in that week, within 2 weeks. So he had a very stormy post-op, but he pulled through. He is a champion, and you know he set some medical records as well. So every day is a blessing.
Well, let's talk about the donor who donated the organ was a marathon person.
He was an athlete.
An athlete.
Yes,
so now he's an athlete. I'm looking at a swag of medals that I could only dream of, and maybe even some of us in the Australian team of this Olympics could dream of. And I'm thinking, hey, wait a second here. He's picked up the sort of the golden organ here. What do you think, AJ? Do you feel amazing now with this compared to before?
Yes, I do.
Do you reckon you could go all the way to the Olympics, mate, with this sort of, with how you're feeling now?
Yes.
Yes.
because Jane, there has been talk of that happening, huh? So, you know, if you have a transplant, you actually pick up some characteristics and traits from the organ where, you know, that came from the donor. Is that right?
Anything's possible. We do know within Transplant Australia we have a lot of recipients and that we know of, and yes, there are some that have new hobbies, new interests, when they've met their donors later on or found out they have taken on interests or likings that their donors had that they never had before, and they piece the puzzles together afterwards. So, I mean, I guess anything's possible with cells and
Wow.
Matt, let me
early
ask you
stages.
some questions, mate. How does it feel now your brother's better? I mean, it must have been hard on you too, buddy.
It was, but now that he's better, it's okay.
You've also got a training buddy too. You guys can train and go. And I know you've got a couple of medals there as well from the transplant game. So maybe you could G each other on. Maybe a bit of doubles in the tennis. I can see that happening. What do you
Who's
think?
faster in a race?
Oh, did you see that hand go up there?
It's neck and neck. It's
Is
pretty
it?
close.
Same?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Well, look, what this obviously underscores is that, you know, are you a donor? I'm a donor.
I'm a donor, absolutely.
Yeah. And it's not just a matter of, writing on your driver's licence that you want to donate, is it?
No,
What
you
is
need
it
to
about?
go online, Donate Life website. They will have online registration, question and answers. If you've got any questions, you can read up, any or ring them, and they will give you an information pack, or Medicare officers have the forms to fill out and sign on. It truly is a gift. There's so many children out there and adults waiting. I think we have about 1,700 at any given time that are made it onto the list. So there's many more than that as well.
Boys, you are doing a fundraiser called Convicts for a Cause to raise money to build a paediatric transplant unit in Perth. It sounds scary, but you can head to our website for all the details. Thank you all so much for coming in. Thanks for coming in, Matt. Thanks, AJ. And folks, really, you're not going to be able to take all that stuff with you. Be an organ donor today. Look what you can do if you can.
So many lives you can save.
So, really, what are you going to do with them? They're just going to lie on the ground.
Give me a little
with you.
fist pump.
Boom. Coming up.